everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm Marianne, and you're watching Marianne's Mystic Mentions along with the second half of the month of November readings, the last reading of the year. What an amazing thing to say. But you know, it's gonna come, right? Can't do much about it. Here it is. I'm excited. I'm ready. And so in my normal fashion, I'll be reading for every featured sign, which is, you know, every sign in the zodiac. And today's beautiful featured sign is that of the air element mutable sign, and very intelligent and changeable. Yes, duality is there, but also inspiring and very much about learning and educating and sharing their knowledge and their connections with others. And that is the sign of Gemini. So Gemini, it's interesting. We're in the Sagittarius season. This is a very, very compatible and complementary energy for you as a fire sign that Sagittarius is, as an optimistic, mutable sign like yourself, wanting to try new things, be adventurous, you know, freedom-seeking kind of energy. You can relate to all of that. Also, we had the new moon eclipse in Sagittarius on the 4th. We're all still feeling that, as well as the full lunar eclipse, which was in Taurus on the 19th of November. Both of those energies and eclipses, being like moons on steroids, as they say, will last for months to come. So the story unravels and there's news coming through in little bits, sometimes really quickly with eclipses and sometimes, you know, a month or so prior or after, but continuously to help us and better us and to, you know, invite this new aspect, this transformation that's necessary. You know, we're constantly transforming, and it's an exciting, beautiful time. It is a holiday time, so I wish everybody that's watching in the whole world a beautiful holiday season, no matter what it is you celebrate, and just the most healthiest, loving, safe, and, you know, just warm, beautiful season. So I'm going to pick for you, first of all, I will be reading the 4 major categories for the featured sign and the highlighted connection, as well as every one of your love connections, which is all different forms, all inclusive, romantic, you know, spiritual, family, animals, you name it. Love is a powerful, powerful force, you know, and it brings us together. Relationships are essential in this lifetime, and there's so many, and they provide so much learning and growth. And you love relationships. You're all about it. So I will pick your highlighted that Spirit wants you to know about right in front of you, as I always do. Read 4 major categories about that particular relationship and all your relationships, and finish with the 2 oracle messages, okay? So what else can I say? Well, I started to say the full moon is going to be in your sign, Gemini, your sign. And you also still have the North Node, you know, that forward-thinking objective in your sign for not too much longer. It'll then go into Taurus, I want to say the beginning of the year at this point. I'm pretty sure. The nodes change, and then it becomes 2 different signs that then represent the eclipses for the next year and a half plus. So that's changed already. We just finished our last one in the series of Gemini Sagittarius, and we had this Taurus, and then the next one will be, I believe, Scorpio, and then it'll be Taurus, Scorpio for the remainder. So those are different energies and different nodes. You know, that's what automatically changed. The eclipses are very much based on the nodal aspects. So, but not to get too complex. Powerful because it's your sign, and it's about what you believe in, and you're all about the mind, like I said, and thinking and organizing and constructing and artistry and things of that nature that are really pumping you up, you know, teaching the world things, you know, helping them to understand in your incredible way that you are able to decipher. You're generally known as the teacher in the zodiac. I've known so many Gemini teachers. It's so funny. You think it's silly about astrology sometimes, but I mean, it's not 100%, but I mean, for the most part, there's a lot of understandable reasons for the archetypes that astrology represents. And then it ties in beautifully with tarot and the messages and the guidance. It's all about guidance. So your wonderful highlighted connection that Spirit wants you to know about, which could be a person, a situation, or an energy that you may feel predominantly in this second half of the month of December. If you have not had a chance to look at the beginning of the month of December, you might want to just to kind of compare notes, because it really shows you how different from one point of the day or night or month can be so vastly different. And it's all about the energies and how we take that in and utilize it. And you have Aries. Well, I love that. Aries is powerful. Aries is the fire. We're in fire as it is. There's that spirited, let's make it happen. You know, Sagittarius points the arrows, shoots it, and wherever it goes is where he's going. And he's already thought a lot about this. He's all about truth. He's all about, you know, higher education, learning, really helping to, you know, promote that kind of outlook for people and to improve the world in that regard so that it's a more authentic place, you know, that can be experienced in the most positive of ways. I feel like it's an optimistic sign when you're in Jupiter ruled sign of Sagittarius. It just simply is. And they're upbeat. They're like you. I mean, you could have a mood that's not like that at times, Gemini. We understand that. We all can be like that. You're a little more predominant. But you really dig this. And it happens to be your actual polar opposition on the chart that I'll show you. And that also represents the magnetism you have for your opposition, for your differences, you know, and working and learning because of that together. So, but Aries is the other fire sign, and Aries is the first sign of the zodiac. Aries is the leader. Aries is passion. Aries is, you know, demonstrative and courageous and strong and impulsive and Mars driven, you know, and ruled, I should say, but because of being ruled by Mars, very driven and kind of just not even thinking sometimes, just like, let's make it happen, and then just going for it. And if something happens, they're okay, just like brushing themselves off and starting over again, you know, but definitely power, passion, drive, all the wonderful things that are exciting to you as well. This is a beautiful combination as well as a fire sign. So it's like things are starting up. You have new ideas. You're already putting them into action for the new year and onward, as well as the help from the eclipses. And you know, I just want to say that having said all of that, there is a definite feeling of a calmer energy the second half. You bring a light to the surface with the full moon aspect of your sign. It's not an eclipse, but you know, just that realization that you're shining a light on what you need to discuss, who you need to talk to, all the relation aspects, because Venus, the sign of love and, you know, beauty and femininity and, you know, magic and sensuality and sexuality and intimacy and beauty of all forms is in the sign of Capricorn, which is an earthly, grounded, practical, you know, let's balance, let's make life as comfortable as possible and be realistic about how we get there and not be in such a rush and really kind of think things out and be, you know, regimented. Saturn ruled Capricorn. Also a cardinal sign who represents the changing of the seasons as we have our winter solstice in, you know, the sign of Capricorn, of course, every year. And that is a whole different change. I felt yesterday is a beautiful day today. It's sunny, it's bright, it's cool, it's a little crisp, but yesterday and the day before was the darker, wintry kind of months. Go figure, in December, right? Something we're not that familiar with in my neck of the woods, but appreciated. But it also just brings out this hibernation feeling in me, this bear kind of thing. I just want to cuddle up after work, put on my robe, and just keep it real and just be grounded and home and, you know, calm, which is so important for us. Don't fight that if you feel that, Gemini, because I know you always want to be kind of thinking, or maybe not necessarily physical, but your mind, even let your mind stop now. Let it just take in this retrograde that's happening on the 19th in Venus, which is once again about all the things I mentioned: money, relationships, love, beauty, you know, just feeling good, taking care, and getting that beautiful book or that cup of cocoa, or just caring and nurturing yourself is what I'm feeling from that. And not feeling bad about it, okay? Because the frenzy and the energy of the eclipses is fast and kind of very stimulating, to say the least, so it can tire you out or make you feel exhausted. And now's the time to just say, oh, okay, everything's going to be okay. I'm just going to relax and let be. So that's a beautiful thing. And then the retrograde of Venus will last through from the 19th to the 29th of January, and then it will remain in Capricorn through March 3rd, going forward and out of the shadowy period. So very long extended stay in Capricorn. And that's once again about just being very grounded and thinking ahead, being sensible, you know, making sure you're doing your due diligence and not feeling rushed about anything that's coming through that's new. You may want to wait and put it off, relationship-wise especially. Just think about things, you know, give yourself that time and that break. It's been an interesting long year yet again, you know, and we can pray and hope for the best, as I always do for every year, and know that that will be a part of the new year with its challenges, of course, you know. But Aries is there to pull it through for you. That Aries represents the beginning of the astrology year, which is in March. So by March, after the effects of the retrograde in Venus, as well as Mercury that's coming in January, I'll talk about that in January. It's a time for review and relaxation and renewing and reviewing, and I just said that. But so that March starts at a beautiful new energy, new time, and just hit the ground running, okay? And allowing that and just enjoying this holiday season. So let's read the 4 categories for you under this category with having the idea of Aries. You may not know this Aries, you may not have a clue, but Aries time frame and birth season is from the 21st, 22nd of April through the 20th of March, actually. 21st at the very latest. I'm just saying that because I have a niece whose birthday's on the 19th, and I was almost positive. I think I'd know by now, but sometimes it's a day or two off. You get my point, though. So that's like springtime, because Aries is also a cardinal sign, which is kind of indicative of this reading, because we're talking about the season of Capricorn after Sagittarius starting, and the Capricorn being a cardinal, and the initiators and the pioneers and new starts, new beginnings yet again. You know, things die off, and you know, we purge and we release at the end of the year, going into Capricorn season in January, all of January. It's colder, you know, you're more maybe inclined to be in more after you do your work or what have you. And then spring brings the new blossoms again, you know, the new renewal of faith and trust and hope and beautiful, better things approaching, right? That's the attitude of an Aries. That beautiful childlike attitude we all want to keep and remember that we had, always believing, oh yeah, I'm gonna be a rocket. I'm gonna be a rocket. I'm gonna be a spaceman. Or whatever it is your dreams were when you were younger. Probably not a rocket, but you know what I'm saying. Just fully believing with everything you are when you're young that this is what you're going to accomplish. And so many people do, because that's what it starts from. It stems from your feeling, your love, your trust, your powerful ways of manifestation. So overall energy coming into the end of the month of December 2021 is going to be for you, beautiful Gemini, the King of Cups. Well, I love this because this is love. This is definitely heart-centered. And, you know, it's wonderful to be an air sign and to have the intellect you do and the intelligence and the ability to separate your emotions from your mind and your thoughts. Yes, it's important for you especially. It's how you operate, but you certainly are an emotional person. You certainly have a heart, as we all do. And so it's just reminding you that this is the time to really focus in on that, if for no one else but for yourself, and to know that that's all that really, really matters, is the love that we can give to others and receive. Don't forget the receive part. I know I have most of my life. You want to receive that. It is the absolute law of attraction, give and take, reciprocation, you know, not to block that. And it could represent a certain Scorpio, Cancer, or Pisces. But what I believe is that this beautiful, benevolent planet of Jupiter that rules Sagittarius and has ruled the sign of Pisces historically, and now along with the more modern ruling planet for Pisces, which is Neptune, which happens to be in the sign of Pisces and will be for some time to come still, like a lot of years, because it's a slower moving planet and they take longer to get through each sign. But it's about our imagination and our creativity and, you know, the underworld, the unlimited possibilities, and just things that aren't seen, but we believe and just know can happen, and trust with everything we are. You know, we manifest because of that. We come from that place of understanding and trust. And it's beautiful, and it's fulfilling, and it's emotionally incredibly happy. And it's the maturity of a king or queen. It doesn't have to be an actual man by any means, but it's the maturity in the masculine versus feminine aspect of all of us, like a duality of yourself, Gemini. You understand that more than most signs. The light and the dark in all of us, it's all there. It's what makes us perfect and whole for exactly who we are. And this is a beautiful reference to Jupiter going into the sign of Pisces on the 29th. I've been saying the 28th because I was seeing it could be 28th, 29th, depending on where you're located. But for sure by the 29th, it's going to be there. And that's a whole different vibe than Aquarius, which I love. I love Aquarius. I'm a Libra, so I'm an air sign as you are. So I'm part of that triad of the mind and the thoughts and the ability to talk and communicate and share and see other perspectives and personalities that are different but perfectly acceptable, and actually work in this huge, you know, woven pattern of life and consciousness that we are all a part of. I see more and more as I watch documentaries and just kind of my own viewpoint after the last couple of years, so much hope in the ability to do that. It takes all of us. It's you know, it's the world at large that really creates so much of what happens. So that's what I see is coming forward, and it's a heart-centered kind of emotion and drive and ambition. And you're right there at the heart of it. You are absolutely more than willing to make this a reality for yourself and for everybody you're around, especially during the seasons. And this is a hard time for a lot of people. It can be an amazingly beautiful, fastidious time, but it's also hard for those that have lost people they love. And just a time to just, once again, be still, listen to yourself, listen to your guides, listen to your heart, and just be extremely grateful and know that love is everywhere, and you can be bringing it to others in some form or another, and it's going to just really make their day. A simple smile, or, you know, wave, or whatever it may be. Doesn't have to be elaborate, but I feel like that's a huge part of what's happening for you and what we're really feeling as an air sign. Showing, yes, we do feel. We absolutely do. So, second category is that of possible blessings or obstacles. Wow, you have the Ace of Swords, so talk about new beginnings. And in your element of swords, you know, you cut away things that aren't real or necessary. You are straight to the point. You're fair and just. You are extremely articulate, intelligent. You have some really important new ideas you want to share and see come to fruition, you know, inspirations, nothing new for you. And that influence of Aries, it could happen it could start to happen. What you're thinking now and what you're putting out in the energies of this new moon eclipse could absolutely be transforming and becoming a reality for you by Aries season. If you're not knowing of a specific Aries in your family or friendship or, you know, love relationships, it's that time. It's that energy, and it's calling to you, and you know that because it starts the beginning of the year, really, like I mentioned. So with retrogrades and everything, which are times to just kind of really think about things and go over final details, through about March, this is absolutely perfect. You're right in tune with the energies of the universe, which is always a really good feeling. And the universe is there with you to guide you the whole way. So yeah, beautiful, beautiful opportunities, you know, making it happen, boy. And having the ability to converse and speak in ways that you want. Starting a YouTube channel, something having to do with technology is important. Saturn will still be in the sign of Aquarius, which is also extremely, you know, compatible to you as an air sign. And that's about working in groups and working as a collective to help the masses, you know, the world in some way to improve and grow and emerge in the best possible ways. The highest good for all concerned. So that's excellent. And then you've got the heart and the mind working in one, which is the most powerful, beautiful, holistic way that you can feel in this body, you know, as a spirit. So the third category is that of finances, and that is, of course, about money and perhaps ways that you're thinking and already starting to manifest new avenues for that. Could very well have to do with that, if not about relationships of romance or something of that nature. And we'll see. It could also have to do with what you consider to be wealth, of course, which is all of the things I mentioned. It doesn't have to be the proverbial coin, but you know, that's essential. And there's nothing wrong with wanting it. And the most you could possibly imagine is always something that could happen. Never sell yourself short or think, oh, I'm asking for too much, like I've done for I don't even know how many years. So yeah, it's all available. Just believe it and ask and you know, welcome it. Be the best receiver. And you have the Eight of Cups. There's another cup, but I get it because once again, I mentioned to you in the finances, this is, or well-being, this is a time of year when a lot of people reflect, of course, on the year that's passed, and there's amazing, wonderful memories. There's sad, of course. It's all intertwined. And you really are very reminiscent, but what's happening is you're ready to let go of the things that held you back or made you sad and the emotions that affected you, because it's the best way to go. I mean, you can carry it on to the next year, but it's going to be a heavier load. No need to do that. 8 represents power, manifestation, abundance, beautiful energy. You're in charge. You've got the red cloak with this person walking away from the things of the past, you know, letting the past be the past. Something I work on to this day. You know, it's getting better. It's getting better because I consciously want it to be that way. I don't forget things, but I don't want to put them in the forefront of my thoughts anymore. You know, they're in the past for a reason, right? And we can refer to them, and the past has to do with who we are to this point and all of this. And I know this, but it's onward and upward. That's all I'm saying. And you're ready for it. You've got that power and that fire energy of Sagittarius, of course, but also Aries. Once again, you may have a lot of fire in your chart. You might want to look that up. It's a very strong indication, and you can always read your sun, moon, rising, and Venus placements to get a real clear picture on who you are by looking up your natal chart. We're way more than just the sun, but the sun is essential, of course. It's the year and the day and the month we're born, and it's our, you know, our personalities and our egos and our wants and desires and likes and all the things that we can create and believe in about ourselves. So yeah, knowing that when you let go and you have that beautiful focused kind of energy of heart-centered, this is what's happening, this is what I'm going to create, I'm moving forward to bigger, better things. Full moon in your sign, no doubt, is what's really going to shine a light on what those are for you and what you need to let go of and what you need to focus on going forward. Perfect. In your sign, Gemini, very powerful, you know, those only come twice. You get a new moon and a full moon a year, and this is yours, Gemini. Make it everything you want it to be and more, you know, make it real and be very truthful with yourself as to what those things may be that you want to leave in the past once and for all. And then the final category is that of surprises and wishes, because yeah, there's a lot of Uranus energy, what with it being the ruling planet of Aquarius, which has been a very heavy hitter this year for all of us. And they're calling it the age of Aquarius. We've been hearing that since I was in, you know, high school about the age of Aquarius, because it was just a premonition of what was to come, I realize now. And I love the play Hair, and spoken songs were relative to all of that. It's way more about doing and being a collective than it is about individuality and, you know, making that mighty dollar, you know, if it's the last thing we do. It's about planting your gardens, okay? That's what this full moon lunar eclipse on the 19th in Taurus, which will be part of the whole next year and a half, 2 years eclipses, grounded, planting seeds, being patient, being conservative in the ways that we, you know, spend or, you know, invest, and nature, natural things, you know, the earth element, soil, building beautiful vegetable gardens to have that we can go in our own backyard and pick and know exactly how it was grown, and help us with financial aspects that way, you know, and not worry or concern ourselves with how it's working out in the other aspects of life, but providing that for ourselves and our families and friends or what have you. So had to put that in there. It's a huge portion of what's coming up too. But your wishes and dreams are things you're thinking about, and surprises, well, that was the point. Uranus is also in the sign of Taurus. So you may have some incredible things changing in your practical world, in your life, in your body, in your mind and soul, you know, that you don't expect, or, you know, that change your life forever. So it's not a bad, it's a positive, okay? And yeah, some of them are unexpected and they're not great, but you work through those too. So you have, oh my gosh, you have the Knight of Swords. Wow, well, I'm sorry, Knight of Wands. This is the energy of fire. This is the Aries. This is the Sagittarius and the Leo. And this is fast, fiery, passionate, energetic, new ideas, new inspirations, absolutely, you know, positive, uplifting beliefs that you're going to accomplish it, okay? And it's coming in sooner than you think. Even with the retrogrades, it doesn't mean things aren't coming in. You might want to just make sure you double check any contracts and that sort of thing. Certainly technology, you know. Retrogrades in Mercury, but also in, certainly could happen in Venus, represent, you know, aspects of your life that, you know, have to do with your money, and you're putting out money maybe more than you normally would and being cautious about that. But I was going to say transportation, and that's really more with Mercury. That is your ruling planet. So being aware of that, and don't think automatically, which can happen, that your car breaks down. You may have this real ironic idea and to want to buy something new, but that's what you want to hold off on and just really look into all the details about that. I wanted to buy a car, and I just, as soon as I thought about it, the prices just skyrocketed up. I thought, wait a minute. Whoa, I guess I'm gonna have to wait a little bit here, and that's fine. It's actually perfect because of everything I'm talking about. But it also has to do with, I find on the retrograde times with transportation, all of a sudden I'm going to work and they're doing a bunch of construction. So there's little detours and that sort of thing. It could be that mundane, but something to think about. And the horse is a form of transportation. Maybe you want to plan this amazing vacation you have never gone to and you put off because of everything going on. That's very representative of Sagittarius and Sagittarius season, and the eclipses that are going to make that happen for you. You're done waiting, okay? And you can have the money and the resources to make that happen because you've got these brilliant ideas and you're full of creativity and you're just capable and you believe it. So it's going to happen for you. So keep those things in mind. Let me know if you'd like to. I would love that. If you have not had a chance to like or subscribe, I would greatly appreciate that. Subscribing is only following. It's not like you're expected to, you know, pay for anything, or you shouldn't get any kind of major emails whatsoever. It just supports me, and I love you for it, and I love all of you that have done that this far. I love seeing the channel grow. I want to be here for as long as I possibly can. This is my absolute passion, and I've done it for so many years, but now I want to become, I just need it as a regular spiritual practice for myself, and I want to share that with you, strictly from love, really. And then in the hopes at the beginning of the year that I will be doing personal readings for those of you that are watching, and you can always ask me or send a text about that, but I'll have more information for that in the new year, okay? New year, new ideas, new things coming up. So I'm going to finish with your two oracles. The first is the beautiful Psychic Tarot of the Heart by John Holland. It's one of my favorite decks. It does have to do with heart, you know, anything revolving around or involving love is about the heart, and opening up your heart and really, really centering yourself in your heart. And it's just going to be a much better world when we all do that. And I know we do it to some extent, and I just feel like that's going to grow and grow. So let me see what beautiful messages for you, Gemini. Also very, very caring and giving, and yeah, great people, great peeps. We have embrace. Isn't that gorgeous? I mean, even the picture, is that 21? Let me put on my glasses to make sure. 21 is a 3. 3 is, in numerology, it's about expansion and emerging and growing and help of others, you know, working together. Look at the beautiful, you know, yoga pose of just allowing and surrendering and just saying yes. Yes, and thank you. Two very, very important words in the idea of manifestation. It's up to you. What do you want? You know, what do you truly want? And feel it into reality. That's part of the next oracle message, but embrace. So let me read to you what it says. This is a major arcana with the black outline. And that's what I love about this deck, is it covers all aspects, the chakras, the major arcanas, and all the different elements. So for 21, and embrace, it says the keywords: welcome, appreciate, dreams, wholeness, contentment. And I do want to reiterate about the whole Pisces energy that's going to be a predominance of next year. We had a taste of it between May 13th and July 28th of this year, where Jupiter went into Pisces and then went back into Aquarius until the 29th of December. Talk about love and compassion and imagination and just incredible, I don't know, compassion. It's really huge and strong, and so is intuition and dreams. So dreams could be very prophetic for you. You could have some amazing ideas come. Write them down if you can. Talk to them in your phone, because sometimes you get up and they're gone as soon as you wake up. But you can, before you open those eyes and you think of it, pick up that phone and speak into it. It's easier and quicker, right? And then you can refer back to it and write it into a log. When it comes to love, the universe is smiling upon you at this time. Energies are moving and shifting, coming together to give you exactly what you need and want. Your efforts to clarify your heart's desire, to be present in current relationships, and to actively manifest new relationships are now bearing fruit. In this moment, you are in a position to achieve all that you have dreamed of regarding matters of the heart. That's pretty clear with the cup. The King of Cups is your first overall energy. I mean, that's perfect, right? Spirit is letting you know they're right here with you. This reading is very, very much in synchronistic, beautiful alignment. So in this moment, you're in a position to achieve all that you've dreamed of regarding matters of the heart. Your dreams are ready to manifest. Yes, they are. Bring that sword, bring that truth of yourself and what you want, and bring it forward, and know that you have everything it takes to accomplish and manifest like anybody else, if not more. And you know, the love and the optimism and the fiery ambition is there with you. It's working in your favor. It's the wind beneath your sails, behind you, right? We're pushing you forward, not backward. So go with it and enjoy and embrace. So I'll finish with your super attractor manifestation message, which is of course about manifesting the life you want by everything that was spoken about, but primarily by honestly feeling it and bringing that into your everyday universe and your energy, so that it comes back in that exact same alignment in some way in relation to your dreams and your life goals and ambitions. So for you, beautiful Gemini, and finishing your end of the month, last reading of the year. I love this one. I love this one. I feel like you got this more recently. I feel my way into faith, one step at a time, which is exactly how we need to handle everything. We don't need to skip. We don't need to jump. Not now, not now, not during this time, not during retrograde of Venus, where we think more, we're more intuitive, we're more introspective. You know, you can make things harder by trying to climb, you know, against the tides, against the energies. I do it sometimes, but it won't work in your favor. Take it one step at a time. Trust and believe. This too passes. You know, it's just a matter of a time frame of what? A couple months when everything will be clear again. And that's all the time you really need to do the focusing on the details and such. Maybe more, you know, because you want to make it right. You don't want to have to go back and retrack. But you're crossing that bridge. You're going from one phase of your life to another. There's a definite transition, and you have faith. You trust. And it's a good place to be. You know, surrender, like I said. Have a beautiful rest of the year. And I look forward to reading for you in January, extremely, seeing what's going on and how this is playing out for you. Take extremely good care. Thank you again for taking the time to be here. I really appreciate you. Until next year. See you next year. Bye-bye.